Okay, so welcome to day number 3 of playing some Pioneer Brews with Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Hello. And today, the first deck that we have for you today has quite a few Lost Caverns of Ixalan cards. So we are kind of brewing around. There's a couple different cards. So the first one, I guess probably the most important one, is Inti. I think it's Seneschal of the Sun. So this is a 2-mana 2/2 that says whenever you attack, you may discard a card. And then if when you do, you put a counter on target attacking creature and give it trample until end of turn. And then the second line of text is whenever you discard one or more cards, exile the top card, you may play that card until your next end step. So basically what happens with Inti is if you pair that with cards that say like discard then draw, you can kind of get into these spots where you're kind of churning through your deck, and you'll notice that we have Fable the Mirror Breaker. I don't need to tell you how good this card is. It's very, very good and works very, very well with Inti. And then we also have Insolent Neonate, which is, again, another card, discard a card, sacrifice it, draw a card. So you have ways to discard. And then another new card, which I think is quite powerful, mostly because of the amount of raw cards that you can just discard with this, is Brass's Tunnel Grinder. So it's a 3-mana artifact. When it ETBs, you discard any number of cards, then draw that many +1. So you're always going to be +1 on it, because even if you have no cards, you can still just like play it and cycle it basically. You're not really ever going to transform it too much. Ideally they're going to be dead before you get to a spot where you're transforming this. But the concept is you can discard a whole bunch of cards, like 3 or multiple cards, and that by itself can turn on Hollow One. So what you can end up doing is, like, if you have Inti on 2, and say you go Tunnel Grinder on 3, you can discard your entire hand and try to, like, discard your entire hand, draw a bunch of cards, try to find Hollow One. You can also cast the Hollow One for free off of the Inti, so that's pretty cool too. You just get more looks at Hollow One. And then kind of the same thing with Neonate, where you can go, like, Neonate on 1, Inti on 2, and then you can go Tunnel Grinder on 3. If you brick on Hollow One, sack the Neonate, discard, draw again. And then so you have that kind of engine, and then you're pairing that with Flamewake Phoenix, which looks a little strange because, you can trigger it with Hollow One, but there's another new card, Souls of the Lost, which says additional cost to cast this, discard a card or sack a permanent, and then it's the new Tarmogoyf. So this thing will usually, and by usually I mean all the time, be big enough to also get Flamewake Phoenix back. So you have that as well. You have Ox of Agonas, which is a card that you actively want to discard every single time. So you're always going to want to put it into the graveyard with Souls or Neonate, and then you can get that back later on in the game after you've gone through a lot of cards, especially with Tunnel Grinder. And then the really, really cool part that I had not seen anybody talking about this, and one card when I was like going through the commons and uncommons, seeing if there was anything I missed, is Bloodthorn Flail. This might seem like a pretty innocuous card, 1 mana or 1 mana equipment, equip creature gets +2/+1, and then the equip cost is pay 3 mana or discard a card. Now, what ends up happening with Inti, because each instance of equipping the card is a separate discard, you can actually, like, normally if you're discarding multiple cards, you only get one card with Inti, right? Like if you're going Brass's Tunnel Grinder, discard 4 cards, you only get one Inti trigger. But each one of these is a separate instance, which is really, really cool. So if you have Flail plus Inti, you can basically flip your entire hand and try to find more Hollow Ones. And that's really cool. And one other important thing is Bloodthorn Flail gives +2/+1. So even if you have an Inti with no counters on it, you can still Flail equip it, and that gets back Phoenix. And then the other powerful card here is, this is kind of like our other payoff for discarding a bunch of cards, is Flameblade Adept, which gets out of control pretty quickly. And if you you can go like Adept on 1, Inti on 2, Tunnel Grinder on 3, discard 4 cards, attack for 5. You can also, one really cool thing about Inti that I didn't really realize at first is Inti gives Trample. And Trample is really good with Souls of the Lost, because you can just like churn through your entire stuff and like churn through a whole bunch of cards and then attack with Souls of the Lost with Inti in play and just give it Trample. And that's kind of sicko too. So I think there's like a lot of cool stuff going on here. I'm not exactly sure about some of the ratios, but I really, really do think there is maybe something to this. The sideboard probably needs a little bit of work. My current setup in the sideboard is mostly just like attacking Phoenix, Rakdos, but I think I'm going to be a little bit weak to both Lotus Field and Convoke, so we'll have to see if we can maybe address that in the sideboard games, but I do really kind of think this deck has a lot of potential, and this is kind of where I want to start. So we'll do it. Integer, thank you so much for the 4-month resub. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well today. This hand is fine. You cut Goblin Lore. Goblin Lore is not legal in Pioneer. I wish it was. Dude, if we had that card in Pioneer, my goodness. I'd play the shit out of it. Instead, we have 3-mana Goblin Lore. Which is, like, I think this card is still relatively powerful. It's just, you know, more expensive. Makes your deck more clunky. Like, this is kind of the problem, right? The Hollow 1 deck in Modern is very good at setting up turn 2 Hollow 1s, and this deck is very good at setting up turn 3 Hollow 1s. And sometimes that's not fast enough. But this card is extremely good. The flip came up that game, too. The flip is, like, if the game goes long enough and you can actually flip this, the backside is really good. Yeah, I feel like we're missing, like, one more good 2-mana discard outlet. And please don't suggest Cathartic Reunion, because, I mean, I don't know, maybe there's a build of this deck that plays Cathartic Reunion instead of Souls of the Lost. Like, would that make sense? Because I didn't want to play Cathartic Reunion since it wasn't a permanent for Souls. So maybe it's just that, maybe you just don't play Souls. Maybe that's the idea. Yeah, Bitter could be okay, but it only discards 1 card. I think you need white for the 2-mana discard outlets. I found a discard outlet that wasn't white that I think might actually be better than the white cards, Monkey Brain, when I was going through the uncommons and uncommons. I think this is just, like, better than all of the white creatures, because it's cheaper, and it helps get back Phoenix. I could have cast Hollow 1, but I can also just cast Hollow 1 next turn, right? And, like, if they just have Axe, if I sack both my things and play Hollow 1, they just Axe my Hollow 1, it's pretty bad. So I want to keep these in play for a little bit. The Flail has been very good. I like the Flail a lot. Saheeli's. Oh, from the new set? Yeah. Bitter Reunion's a little bit better than that card. I'm gonna get Spell Pierced into Oblivion, aren't I? I'm gonna get Spell Pierced for my whole life savings. I'm not playing around it. They're gonna take 2 minutes to read it and then Spell Pierce it. Poggers. I guess I'll attack first. Other Souls is not too bad. I'm going to discard the Adept because it's just so likely to die. And then I can just play this next turn, maybe. There we go. That's what we're talking about, baby. Alright, your turn. I'm also not sure how they beat a 6 toughness creature in their Lightning Axe deck. They have to use 2 spells on it, but this card does seem very good against Phoenix. If you can, obviously you have to fill up the graveyard enough for it. But yeah, Tunnel Grinder is so good. Love that card. This is just 2019 Modern all over again, right? It's just Hollow 1 versus Phoenix. The definition of give us Faithless Looting and Pioneer, you cowards. See, this is why we can't have Faithless Looting. I drew a Flail. I'm gonna go to combat first. Give us Careful Study instead. I mean, I would splash for Careful Study in this deck. I would do it. I wasn't sold. I wasn't sure how good it was, but the more I'm playing with, now that I've played with the card, I think it's much better than I thought it was. I'll give you that. Alright, all on down. Do I just discard Flail? I don't really want to sack a land, because sacking a land means I can't Fable next turn. Yeah, I'm just going to discard Flail. I have a 7/8. Your turn. Played the rigging list last night. It seemed really good. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna play that rigging deck today. I'm kind of excited for that one. I think it's got a lot of potential. The one thing that I think that deck is really missing is just another good payoff, right? You have the 4 fight riggings, but it kind of feels like when you don't draw that card, your deck is kind of sketchy. So, I don't know. Rite of Consumption? People used to play that card. In, like, weird Emrakul Gristlebrand decks. You failed the mechanic somehow? What do you mean? This song is really good. No, we're not playing the Stalker. It's possible we should. This deck basically descends every turn. But the problem that I have with Stalker and Pioneer is you can't trigger it on turn 1. So if it's your first play of the game, it's kind of bad. But it's much, much better on turn 2 when you can go, like, Neonate on 1 and then Stalker on 2, you know? I only have 1 Phoenix. I guess that's the answer to Souls, is them just chump blocking a bunch. Hopefully we can find Inti. Inti to give this trample would go hard. That's kind of the reason I wanted to play Souls, because it's so fucking good with Inti. Because Souls is really missing a consistent way to give it some sort of evasion, right? And that's what Inti does. I just call it every time, huh? Literally just call it every time. He can't keep getting away with it. Hit a Hollow One that I can't cast. So this is 9, 13. They have to chump block here and go to 3. Is it permanent trample or trample until end of turn? Trample until end of turn. Okay. Now if they don't kill Inti, they're just dead. This TPR or the new card that's +2/+0 with the 1/1 trample enchantment good for Souls, maybe. See, the thing about those cards is they're not as good standalone cards. And the reason I like Inti with Souls so much is that Inti is just a good card by itself, right? And TBR and like those kind of pump enhancing or trample giving cards are much, much more awkward when you don't have the Souls, if that makes sense. But, like, this card just does so much for so little, you know? It's just I think this card's amazing. Alright, they can double Time Walk. They're taking a lot of turns. Inti's Insane and Cube. Yeah, the card just seems really, really sick. Oh, we optin'. We out here optin'. I want to see Periphery live. That's one thing I want to cross off my bucket list. Can you opt out? Not that I'm aware of. They have to take Impulse, right? They chose Otherworldly Gaze. They only have 1 more turn. I don't think they can kill me. Even if they hit Quad Phoenix plus Connive, that's only 15. That's not even lethal. They also should have probably done this on their upkeep. Decisions were made. Kept the card on top. Yep. So they can guaranteed get at least this Phoenix back. But again, if they don't kill Inti, they're just dead. So this is a requirement. They have to kill this. Sure. This is the updated state of Pioneer. Yeah, well, did you see my latest tweet? Updated state of Pioneer. Turn 3, triple Hollow One. This deck does have some really obscene draws. It also has some, you know, some non-functional draws, but that's what you get when you play a deck like this, you know? There's really high highs and really low lows. Okay, you're dead. Opponent, you are dead. The game is over. Yep, you can attack me. That's fine. I'm just going to kill you. I'm going to go to my attack step. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Discard. Counter. Trample. Trample. Yeah. Alright, 11, 12, trample. Oh, I'm attack. On God, for real, for real. You know what's really sweet about Leyline in this deck too? You have so many ways to discard extra copies between Flail, Inti, Fable, Tunnel Grinder, and Neonate that like you don't really care, you know? Like you would this is one of the best Leyline decks because you just have so many ways to convert the other copies. I don't love Thoughtseize against Phoenix. Kind of maybe want a couple of volleys. I'm gonna cut the 4th Flail. I'm going to cut the 3rd Grinder because it's kind of sketchy against Spell Pierce if they keep that in. And I'm going to do 1 Ox for 1 volley. Flail has been very good. That has been the standout for me. Just like, it's very cheap, and later in the game, like on that big turn, when you untap with Inti on turn 3, you just get to go crazy with it, and you don't have to spend any additional mana too, which is sick. I mean, I don't know if I should keep this hand, but we'll drop payoffs. Yeah, it's been very good. Yeah, I think Flail is the only 1 mana card that allows you to discard repeatedly for no additional mana. I think it's the only card in the entire format that I could find. And it's like, we've been really missing that, you know? Because that's what this deck is missing, is just a good 1 mana discard outlet. How bad is this deck without Fable? I think pretty bad. I would not play this deck without Fable. Yeah, there's plenty on 2. There's Noose Constrictor, Guardian of New Bedalia, Seasoned Hallowblade. There's plenty for 2 mana. But for 1 mana, I think that's the only one. How big can I make the Souls? Not big enough. I can go Souls, discard Flail, Flail, discard Ox. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably not good enough, because this just gets axed. But I want to get cards in the graveyard for Ox. And I want to equip main phase to play around. I guess they can't Fiery Impulse anyways, because it's only 2 damage, and it would be a 2/3. IO2 dropped the first league. We're just going to run it back, see how this one goes. No, in Pioneer. In Pioneer. I know that you have Putrid Imp in Modern, but... Or wait, no, Putrid Imp's not Modern legal. Yeah, but yeah, I know you have Putrid Imp and stuff like that. Firestorm. That's what Pioneer needs. Pioneer needs a Firestorm. No, it actually does not. Pioneer does not need Firestorm. That was a joke. It was a bad joke. Alright, no blocks. They appear to not have Lightning Axe. Did we just YOLO? I think we YOLO. Alright, I got a 5/5 and a 3/4. And I can discard whatever I draw every single turn to keep moving the Flail if I want to. Imagine Decimate against my board. Imagine Engineered Explosives against my board. Predict 1 reprint card in MH3. Maze of Ith. You can track the link. 5, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's more damage. It's +2 damage if I discard my land. I know I could play the land to move the equipment, but it's not +1 damage that way. I mean, now they're just in the Abyss, right? Whoa, we're attacking? What the hell? How could you possibly attack here? I have 2 lethal creatures. Unless I draw a non-permanent card, which I don't... I think this is the only non-permanent card in my entire deck. And if I draw that, then I can kill a blocker. I don't know what their plan is here. It appears that they have not drawn Lightning Axe, which is very good for me. Because Lightning Axe would be a card that I don't want them to cast. Imagine they can't... Yeah, I think you meant Lightning Axe, but yeah. I mean, you could play a Phoenix to chump block, I guess. You know, I was thinking about cutting Souls of the Lost, but after this game, I might not want to do that. They revealed Hall of Storm Giants, Firing Impulse, Otherworldly Gaze, and River Glide Pathway. I'm with you. No Axe. We like that. I'm not sure why they used the dual land. Yeah, Souls has looked pretty good this game. Alright, we have a Chump Blocker. Chump Blocker acquired. Okay, attack. You must Chump Block. You must Chump Block. What's the escape on this? 8? Escape. 8 other cards. We currently have 5, so we're a little ways away from that. The nice thing about this is now both of our creatures are outside of axe range. We're chilling. We are Bing chillin'. Apparently the bot still does not have the new set cards, which is kind of wild. I guess it's only really been like 3 days, but it feels like it's been an eternity. Here, I'll expand it for you. The one nice thing about Souls, there's been a lot of cards that like have counted creatures in graveyards, but this counts all permanents, which is really, really sick. Okay, so they can go trade Chump. It's our best draw here. Shocking. Uh-oh. Okay. They still have to trade for the Drake. So trade Chump. Oh wait, I'm an idiot. You know what I should have done last turn? I should have just cast a third Souls and sacked the land. Then I would have them dead this turn. I don't know why I didn't do that. That was really bad. Yeah, I could have just done that. I don't know why I didn't. Alright, Tuck. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I was thinking I needed to discard the Souls to get an extra, to get +1/+1, but I could have just sacked a land and put this into play. I just wasn't thinking about that. But now, we can just go Adept and then equip the Adept next turn. And this has Menace, which means this is going to be lethal, so they need 3 blockers, or I guess blocker removal spell would also do it. A Call Pakal will be the most influential card in the set by being restricted in Vintage. I don't even... Is that the one that, like... It's like the 1/5 that you can impulse for an artifact? Is that even good in Vintage? Time difference, by the way. Okay, they can't X this. Oh. Well. They can have another removal spell. Okay. Okay. Maybe we can time them out. Oh, but now we just Ox, right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Done. We always have it. They still can't win this game. I don't think there's a reason to equip now. Just equip next turn. Hall of Storm Giants. Alright, you were dead. Oh, no, because I have 6'd. I guess they're not dead. Whatever, it's fine. Go. They got me with the F6. It doesn't matter. I'll just kill them next turn. Okay, you're dead. This hand on the draw, man, it's so slow. Why do all of the good enablers have to cost 3 mana? Why can't we just have Goblin Lore? Or Burning Inquiry, for that matter. I don't know. I can't keep a hand like this. This hand's embarrassing. Yeah, you know. Sure. Is that even right? No. No, it is right, I think. No, it's actually not right. Let's do this. I think this is better. Opponent's name means sausage in German. Bratwurst. I've had my fair share of bratwursts. I bet you weren't ready for this one. Bloodthorn Flail. What's up? Shh. Alright, your turn. Are we going to continue our trend of conceding matches to blue-white control? Probably. Another trophy with Glass Dust, Pog. This deck can't beat blue-white, can it? Certainly not this game. This game's already over. There's no reason to play out this game. If they counter this, I'll concede. See, I know what's happening. They're reading it, and then they're going to decide whether or not they want to counter it. Ooh. Pog. Doesn't really help. So our plan against blue-white is flip the Tunnel Grinder, because that card is really good if you can flip it against blue-white. Now, it's going to be a little bit before we can do that, but that is the plan. What's up, Will? Don't need the second one. I'm going to hold the land to maybe discard the Flail. I just wanted to discard the Neonate immediately to get a counter on Grinder. I could have also just discarded... Yeah, no, this is just way better. If I'm going to trigger this, I wanted to get something out of it at least. Alright, I'm good. You win. Okay, a blue-white control. Grindy cards, Thoughtseize. Kind of assume they're going to have Rest in Peace, so I think I want to shave some of my graveyard stuff. Probably one of these. Probably one of these. And maybe one of these, because, no, I mean, they're slow, but it's still just really good. I can cut a second Souls, I guess. Just want to make this, I want to make my deck a little bit less reliant on the graveyard in the post-board games. What's the next deck? Next deck is Fight Rigging. So, Hollow 1, Fight Rigging, the Dimir kind of self-mill dredge deck, the blue-white Fatal Bender deck, Bart Scales, and then the last deck is going to be Ancient 1, Ob Nixilis. That's the plan for today. Honestly, I think today, I'm not sure if any of these are super competitive, but they're all really, really fun to play, so. More Quinn combo? I don't know. I think that deck just loses to too many things for it to be super competitive. It's really fun, and it's, like, good for the high rolls, but I'm not sure that the deck is actually that competitive. If we play it again, we definitely have to fix the mana base for sure. The mana base when we played it was so bad. I was thinking about doing boats tomorrow. I do want to play a little bit with the new 3/4. I think that card's really good. And get rid of both flails. No, we can keep one flail. That's a good draw. That is a good draw. See, this is how you beat blue-white control. You just cast a bunch of Fables, and their deck just falls apart. What you got over there? Regal Keck W Oracle. Regal Keck Akul. If I just let them have Verdict, take the second cat. I'm just gonna play Fable and not play the Flameblade. I don't really care if they Verdict these two. I guess maybe I should be caring about the Verdict after the Fables flip. Maybe that's a good reason to take the Verdict. But then they have two Caracles. It's really hard to beat the second Caracle. The first one is, like, kind of whatever. The second one's a lot harder to beat, though. And I would have taken that one if they had that in their hand. I sure would have taken that one. They're going to play Regal Caracal next turn. Okay, I'm just going to go Fable Pass, discard these two. It's actually kind of fine if they Caracal first, because if they Caracal and then we force them to Wrath, they're going to Wrath their Caracals. They almost can't even cast the cat this turn. I don't think they should, because they kind of have to Wrath next turn when we have double Fable. Ancient One into Ob Nixilis Planeswalker, legit strategy. I don't know if it's a legit strategy, but I'm going to try it out. I think it's really appealing. Like the list, if you look at the list that I have, which is all these lists are on the Mox Field, by the way, if you want to take a look at them. But it's kind of just like a mid-range deck. So like you have all of the normal mid-range cards like Thoughtseize, Harvester, Fable, Shieldred, but then you're using that. Also, one other thing, even like Ancient One Ob Nixilis is very powerful, yes, but even like Ancient One Thrillseeker is really sick. And I also have like Supplier Souls of the Lost. I think this deck has a lot of potential. I don't know if this is the way that you should be building it, but like even Lazav plus Ancient One is really sick too, because if you have Ancient One in your graveyard and you attack with Lazav, you can just activate Lazav after you attack, even though you can't attack with it, you know what I mean? They played the cat. Haran, thank you very much for the 19 months of Tier 3. Thank you very, very much for the continued support. Tier 3 for 19 months is insane. Thank you very much, Haran. So let's get rid of these two. Okay, those are good. So another whole hand, right? Because they didn't play the fields. Yeah, so this is their entire hand. How do I beat this Regal Caracal is the real question. I have to Thoughtseize the Verdict now, which feels really bad. So Shark Typhoon, Dig Through Time, Field of Ruin. I'm going to sack this. I could copy Souls and just attack them for 6. Holding back this one. I actually don't hate that. I think that's fine. They could trade off their Regal Caracal for it if they want, but I'm okay with that. They want to trade their Regal Caracal for a token. Yeah, they probably chump block. Was it maybe better to sack a land there? Because the 7th power on Souls means that I can immediately ultimate the Ob Nix next turn. Which, maybe that's better. God, Souls plus Ob Nixilis is kind of hot, too. A lot of ways I could have played this. Getting a 3rd Fable next turn. Yeah, maybe I should have sacked the land. I could have also discarded Tunnel Grinder. Yeah, that might have been better, too. Because I don't really need the Tunnel Grinder, given that I have the Ob Nix. Yeah, that's probably better. What's up, Koido? Does the Caracal itself have lifelink? No, right? No. Does not. Your sweet brews keep getting destroyed. No! The brewing process is very difficult. Fable, Soul, Copy, and Cast Ob. Yeah, I know. So, I guess what we do is just this. And then go to combat. Do we attack with both souls? If I attack with the OG soul, they can cycle Shark Typhoon and triple block it. And I kind of don't want that to happen. So I think I'm just going to attack with this, which they're obviously not going to block. And then we can go Obsec the token. It's kind of sketchy. It's like a little suspicious that I'm not making 2 souls. But I mean, if they want to use the Shark Typhoon to trade for this, that's like totally fine by me. Kind of sucks that we can't ult this turn, because it's only 6 power. Yeah. I really should have discarded the Tunnel Grinder to this last turn instead of sacking that token, just to get the 7th point of power. Would have been very, very relevant. Nice. That's sick, Nick. 3 cards in hand. Do I even make a token here? So they can make a 4/4 Shark Typhoon. So the cool thing about doing it this way is I get to plus this one, which forces them to attack this one next turn, because they can't let me ult this, obviously. So I could have done it the other way, and put this one to 4, this one to 4, but I think I'd rather have 1 threatening lethal and 1 on 1 loyalty than as opposed to 1 on 4 and 1 on 4, if that makes sense. Like, I have 8 loyalty regardless, but I'd rather do 7/1 than 4/4. Wow, they don't even use the Shark Typhoon. They're gonna let me ult this? That's a little sketch. I mean, I'll take it. They might. I'm pretty happy with that, though. Yeah, they could also have Get Lost. I mean, I'm just gonna do it. Is it right? I don't know. Should I maybe have just targeted them? Perhaps. I'm not gonna not draw 7 cards, though. Okay. Plus. Well, is it better to try and Kiki them, or just make 3 souls this turn and attack them with 4 souls? I think it's probably better to just copy souls 3 times. I'm trying to think if... We do have to be a little bit careful of our life total with the Shark Typhoon. Yeah, but what do they do if I just make 4 souls here? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if I attack them with 4 souls, what are they gonna do about that? I can even flail, discard my hand, and do stuff that way. I can actually flail and set up the Phoenix, right? I can also Ob again. I have too many options. They could settle the wreckage. Yeah, I guess I could choose to not attack with the original souls. I could just leave this souls back and only attack with the 3 souls tokens, and then I don't even care if they have settle, right? Yeah, let's do that. Let's go flail. Yeah, so let's go equip here, discard Phoenix. I've discarded 1 card this turn, right? That's the first time I've discarded a card. So I need to discard 2 more? No, 1 more to play Hollow 1. Or, I guess 2 more if I want to go Adept and Hollow 1. Will I be playing boats in the coming days? Maybe tomorrow. I'm going to play it at some point. I mean, the only new card in boats is the 3/4, so it's like, it didn't change too much, but I do like that card quite a bit. The answer to your question is yes, but I'm not sure if it's going to be tomorrow or Monday. I think that 3/4 is really good. They have conceded from the game. All right, cool. Game 2. Game 3. That was lit. That's what happens when you let me ult Ob. I feel like they were supposed to cycle the Shark Typhoon that turn. This hand needs to find a payoff, but I'm going to keep it. It's very high upside. We played the Explore combo deck yesterday, and I believe we went 4-1 into 3-2, I think, or something. Yeah, it was 4-1 into 3-2. It felt decent. I liked it. I just leaned with Neonate, right? Yeah, I lead with Neonate here, for sure. Or, not Neonate, Flameblade. Flameblade. That's what I meant to say. Wow. Let's attack first. I have to worry about lockdown. I really despise lockdown. I think I have to Thoughtseize here. So let's do that first. We have to do a lockdown check. If they counter this, I'm just going to go Neonate pass. I can't afford to expose this to a second, to a lockdown. Need to at least get some kind of value out of it. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Well, now I don't have to take the lockdown. I mean, honestly, I don't really care about any of these cards, right? Do I care about change the equation? I guess. Well, they're in Pariah. Is that like the Madness triple black card? I could take Get Lost as an answer to one of my hollow ones, I guess. It's like probably the only card that I really care about, right? Yeah. Not even sure I care that much about Get Lost, though. It's weird. What's my favorite LCI deck so far? I mean, my favorite one is still probably Quintorius combo, even though I know it's not very good. But the deck that has impressed me the most so far, that was a good draw, I think, is probably... the deck that's impressed me the most is probably the Blue-White and Soul deck. Shit, can I not hollow one this turn? I have to discard both lands to hollow one. Because I go Flail, Equip, attack for 5, play hollow one. They can also just change the equation or veto the Flail. Awkward. I wonder if they counter Flail if I lead with it. That's... but leading Flail is bad into lockdown. This is weird. If I Neonate, I guess I could just Neonate, discard Flail. What if I just play it super slow? Attack for 1, play Neonate, pass. Let's do that. I don't know if I should be playing this slow, but it's just like, my hand's kind of awkward. I can't quite get the hollow one this turn. Kind of assume they counter this. Yeah, I know. I mean, they're gonna lock down me either way, but I can at least sack the Neonate here. So lockdown's really only a 1-for-1, you know. Like I'm fine if they lock down this. Yeah, they're not going to. I didn't think they would. Interesting. God, that's so weird. I could just play a 3-mana hollow one? Is that where we're at? I mean, we know they have veto, change the equation, lockdown. None of those answer hollow one, right? I mean, the all-in approach is Flail, discard Thoughtseize, equip, hit for 5, play double hollow one. So what happens if I do that? Flail, discard Thoughtseize, equip, hit for 5, play double hollow one. They take 5, go to 13. They untap, slam lockdown. Then I hit them for 8, they go to 5. I mean, that's pretty good, right? Yeah, let's just go for it. It's possible I wanted them to keep the get loss for the maps. Sure, if they counter the Flail, that's fine. Then I'll just Thoughtseize them and move on with my life. I also didn't think they were going to counter the Flail because they have lockdown in hand. So this is just, like, too juicy for them to pass up on the lockdown, you know what I mean? Because, like, we both know that there's a lockdown there. I think this is as good as we're going to get. Maybe they drew a counterspell for Hollow One. Your turn! So they have to cast the lockdown, and then they go to 5. So I guess we have to dodge Wrath the turn after. I think this is as good as we're going to get. Yep. I'll hold that. Alright. Dodge Wrath, please. Please dodge Wrath. Yeah, top deck's Shrapnel Blast. Guess we know they have changed the equation, so that wouldn't even work. Let's go! Alright, 2-0. 2-0, let's go. This hand is good. Not sure how I'm going to play this. I think I lead Thoughtseize. It's kind of a very Thoughtseize-proof hand, as it were. Do I have to take Arcanist? Perhaps favored Hoplite? I think it's probably Arcanist. Kind of has to be, right? No, Ox of Agonas is preventing this from Gigantha. And I don't think you want to cut Ox of Agonas. Card's too good. Especially with how much, like... The more I think about it, I wonder if you should just take the more graveyard-centric approach and play Stitcher Supplier to pair with Souls of the Lost. Maybe instead of the Flails. It's weird, because Flail is not a discard outlet, or... Sorry, Supplier is not a discard outlet, so it doesn't help with your Hollow One draws. So it's like, it's kind of weird. I think I discard Flail? It's pretty bad if they draw the removal spell, but... When you trigger both, how do you stop the infinite loop? Yeah, so Amalia has a built-in clause that says when her power is exactly 20, it blows up the board. And when it blows up the board, you lose the Wildgrowth Walker, which stops the combo. Now, that being said, if you combo again after your Amalia has more than 20 power, the combo, there's nothing that stops it, because there's no clause after 20. So you got to be a little bit careful of that, because that will draw the game. We call that Game 4. Yeah, my hand's just too slow this game. Hand's way too slow. Can't attack here. I mean, I can Hollow One next turn, but it's probably not good enough. This is definitely not the matchup where we can afford to be slow. Why didn't they play Den last turn? I guess they wanted to hold up the Defiant Strike. No blocks. Cringe. It's not bad. Do this, discard here, counter here, trigger this, trigger this, trigger this. They take 7, they go to 11. We play a Hollow One at a tap land. And maybe we're somehow not dead. And that was a good turn. But, you know, it's just like a turn too slow. Okay, Flashback Strike. Targeting the Hoplite. Maybe I just take all of this? I could do this. Take 6. We know they have Battlefield Forge Den. Like, how many... Realistically, how many pump spells can I even beat here? Like, is it worth playing around any number of pump spells? Since I'd have to throw away the Inti in order to do that. Well, the thing about chumping with Inti is... I guess I still have lethal with the Phoenix, right? 4, 7, 11... no. 4, 7... Yeah, I still would have lethal with the Phoenix, I guess. Yeah, the Souls gets bigger if I chump block with Inti. But then I can't give the Souls trample is the problem. So if they have a chump blocker, I want to be able to Inti onto the Souls to give it trample next turn. That was kind of my thought process in keeping the Inti. And also, if I chump block Inti on Hoplite and they just have a trample spell, which I think they play like 5 copies of, then I'm probably dying anyways. So I think I'm just going to do this. Oh, they just have nothing. Okay, sure. That is fine by me. They have 2 chump blockers. That makes things a little more tricky. So, as of right now, we know they have Den too, or they play Den, so we know they can activate Den next turn. As the board currently sits, if I just send all of my creatures, discard Springs, counter on Souls, my Souls would be a 6 power Trampler, right? So let's assume, and I can get back the Phoenix. Well, actually, if I get back Phoenix, it makes it a 5 power Trampler, right? Because I lose a power from the souls. So discard Springs up to 5, get back Phoenix down to 4, counter from Inti up to 5. So 5 power Trampler. Let's assume they chump block the hollow one. That's 5, 8, 10, 12. So they have to chump block with the Arcanist and the Swift Spear. And then I would still... I guess I'd only have one blocker back, which is a little sketchy. And then if I only have one blocker back, I'm dead on board, right? Because I go block the Hoplite and take exactly 5. So I could try to spike a spell off of the Inti trigger, or I could just not attack with Inti, but then they don't have to block with one of their creatures. I have 2 blockers, block those 2, then I take 4. No, I take 3 because they have the chump block. Okay, so we just don't attack with Inti, I think. Yeah, we just don't attack with Inti. So we go here, here, here. And then we do this. Discard here. I need to give the Souls Trample, I think. Yeah, let's give the Souls Trample. Oh, and we also hit a blocker, which is very good. It's probably our best blocker to hit. Yeah, I know Inti triggers even if you don't attack with it, which is kind of crazy. The fact that it triggers on anything attacking is so good. So they go to 1. And then we just do this. All right. Don't kill me, please. Please don't kill me. Uh-oh, that's scary. I do have a decent amount of toughness here. Seaward Object, thank you very much for using that Prime sub. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for the Prime sub. Okay, is this lethal is the question. Yeah, I mean, they don't have a choice. They have to attack. I think we are dead if they find Rage. We're probably dead to a lot of stuff. Okay, so 7/6 trample. So I put my 5/6 here. And then I just chump block these 2, right? Those are my only realistic blocks. Do they have something is the question. Yeah, we're 37 subs away from Pure Modern, chat. Thank you all again for supporting. Last couple of days have been crazy. Oh, we're going to damage. I like that. I am at 3. Are you dead? Cool. I did not think we were going to win that game. That was something. Okay, volley coming in. Do I want Thoughtseize Abrade? I definitely don't want any of these cards. I've been shaving 1 flail. I think 3 is probably the right number of flails. This card's pretty slow. This card's kind of slow. How do we feel about Thoughtseize against the heroic deck? You're building a pure modern cube. That sounds kind of fun. I heard from CubeCon there was somebody who had like a, I don't know what they called it, but it was like a nostalgic modern cube. And I saw somebody with a Kitchen Finks in play, and it looked pretty dope. It's probably similar to that. Any cube where Kitchen Finks is playable has my attention. Yeah, Museum of Modern, that's what it was. Thoughtseize, it really depends on the type of hand they keep. Because they have a lot of hands that they keep that have a lot of built-in redundancy. Like, say, for example, they keep, like, 2 lands, 2 creatures, 3 pump spells. Your Thoughtseize isn't doing much against those hands. The hands where it just wins on the spot are the hands that they keep 1 creature, 4 pump spells, and you're just like, you Thoughtseize them. Now, the issue is, when you're on the draw, if the creature they kept is a 1-drop, then you Thoughtseize their hand that has, you know, a land and 4 pump spells, then it's like, your Thoughtseize isn't doing anything. But it's much, much better on the play. Yeah, volley is much better on the draw, for sure. What is Pure Modern, Sprinkles says? So Pure Modern is a format that we have developed where basically the modern format, so you take the modern format that we currently have, utilizing the same ban list. The only difference is that there are no supplemental sets allowed. So no MH1, no MH2, and no Lord of the Rings. Sounds good. Do I ever need double black? I don't think so. Tap land go. I will Thoughtseize them here. So we take one creature, volley the other one, and chill. I guess what happens if they just don't play a creature this turn? Yeah, we'll figure it out. They're too smart. You know what I could do? I could double block if they attack, trade one of the adepts for God's Willing, and then untap and volley it. Yeah, if they attack, I'm definitely double blocking. Oh, no, I can't double block, right? Because they have rage. If they rage, it would trade, right? Because I double. They rage counter. It's a 3/3 with 2 damage on it, and then my other adept trades for it. So would I ever trade 2 adepts for that plus rage? Is that a good trade for me? I could also just try and race. Let's double block. I think I like this better. Because I don't think they're going to cast the Rage here. I think they're going to cast God's Willing. Unless they drew another creature, then this is bad if they drew a second creature. Because then they'll just cast Rage. But I hope they cast God's Willing here. So the outcome here is I either trade both adepts for 2-drop plus Rage, or I trade one adept for God's Willing. Okay. Yeah, this is like kind of fine. Well, I don't know if it's fine, but it's what we're doing. Yeah, not ideal. Yeah, they get a Scry as well, which they bottomed. The big problem is they still get to keep the God's Willing, so their next creature gets protected. Okay, that's fine. I would like a Fable here. All you have to do is ask for the card that you want, chat. You just ask for it, and you get it, you know? It's really that easy. God's Willing Gigantha is the new Splinter Twin. Is Flail a good draw? Not really. Could have sacked one of the Neonates, discarded the Flail to try and find some action. Yes, all access is happening right now in Moto. The Gigantha is being very defiant. Oh, really? Well, yeah, I mean, that's probably a 2-turn clock, right? Shit. In before losing to Gigantha? Well, I can't block it. You ever just lose to a Gigantha? Are either of these good? Probably not. I think I'm discarding both. I want to find a hollow one so they can't get... Yeah, there we go. They're at 16. Yeah, I'm not discarding anything this turn. I'm just going to attack for 6. Attack for 6, play hollow one, play Inti. I guess they can Reckless Rage the hollow one if they have another God's Willing, which there's a good chance they do have a second God's Willing if they're going to fire the first one off like that. Got one question about your Modern Rhino suggestion, if you don't mind. Can you explain for what purpose you have the 2K commands in your sideboard? Thank you. They're for Rakdos Scam. So funny enough... Oh, they chose green. I was going to say, if they chose red to protect from these two, they can't Reckless Rage targeting this. That would have been funny. But now that they chose green, I could just chump block. Vigilance. Okay. What about the reverse a format where it's only supplemental sets and Universe Beyond stuff? I think that might be enough cards to make it work. That would be interesting. So this is 6 damage. What do I lose to if I don't block? What's the text on Monstrous Rage? Rage gives +3, right? Because it's +2 and the aura. Yeah. So if I don't block, I lose to Rage. I could chump with Reflection. Wait, what if I just chump with Inti and copy Hollow One? Chump with Inti, copy Hollow One. They block Hollow One. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I still have exactly 10. The other line is chump with Reflection, send everything, they block Hollow One. That's only 8 damage. Yeah, I don't think I can beat both Reckless and Rage anyways, though. Like, I don't know if I can beat any 2 spells, is kind of what I'm getting at. Same thing, if I block with just Hollow One, they just Rage this and then Monstrous. So I still die to that either way, you know what I mean? I guess I didn't count for Den. But if I activate Den, then I can't copy Hollow One. Yeah, well, I need a land to be able to Den and copy Hollow One, right? 2 leagues, Vinny, 4-1 and 3-2. It was okay. It was not too bad. Yeah, or they have, like, post-combat Rage plus Blocker. That could be a thing where they just... Yeah, okay. But yeah, you're right. They didn't use the Homestead Courage. Maybe they wanted to save it for Vigilance next turn? Yeah, Fight Rigging is next. So I guess we just play towards the Twin Line? Right? We just, like... We just attack with everything but the Fable. They block a Shaman token, take 4, go to 6, and we just make a bunch of Fables. I mean, that line loses to Reckless Rage, but could we ever beat Reckless Rage anyways? No, Copy Den does not work the way you want it to. Guess I could discard Neonate first. Yeah, that's true. They also would have to have a 3rd Rage. Well, I want to make more treasures so I can make more Shamans, right? Is that even relevant? I guess that's probably not even that relevant, huh? Let's just do this. Let's send these 2 and just hold up like a bunch of shit. Your turn. Yeah. Well, actually, it's top 16 because they're drawing a card for turn. But yeah, I understand. A 3rd Reckless Rage is not that likely. Okay, that's fine. Combat. So block with 2 Shamans to play around Rage. Right? Rage plus thing. Alright, they will simply not have the 3rd Reckless Rage. Dread Horde. Aha! They didn't have it. See, chat? They will just simply not have it. Splinter Twin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5 get through. I can even animate Den too, just in case. I don't need to, but... Alright, we're 3-0. Let's go. Whew. This league is going a lot better than the first one. This hand looks dope. Wish I was in the play. I'm gonna keep it, though. How is a 3-0 playing an 0-0? Sometimes the pairings are weird. Yeah, they're not. You don't always get paired with somebody the same as record as you. $25 US for all access. Oh, let's go. This is the dream. This is the dream. They will simply not spell pierce my Tunnel Grinder. Chat, I need you all to Prage. I need you all to Prage that they don't have spell pierce for my Tunnel Grinder. Every single person. Where's the 4th hollow one? We'll draw it off the Tunnel Grinder. Imagine turn 3 quad hollow one. Okay, now I don't have to take a damage. I like not taking a damage. They won't if I had opened some of those packs. Actually, maybe I was not supposed to play the Inti there. Because now if they kill the Inti, I have to discard a hollow one, right? This is fine if they don't kill the Inti, but they're very likely to kill the Inti here. Maybe I should have not played it. They never kill it. Alright, I will immediately go to combat. Just leave my homie alone. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, good. Whew. Dodged. Dodge, 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 dodge. Oh, wait, no, I still can't do it. Right? Yeah, I still can't do what I want to do. Shit. Hold on. Yeah, I guess we have to hit a land off of the Inti. Sure, okay. Yeah, we have to hit a land off the Inti. Right. I guess that also works. Right? And then I can go Neonate, discard Tunnel Grinder. Yeah, and then Flail, discard the card that I draw off the Neonate. I think that works. Yeah, so we go Neonate. Discard Tunnel Grinder. Doing this before playing the land, because I could hit a land off of the thing. I guess now they can pierce the Flail. But, I mean, they were going to pierce this anyways, right? I was going to get pierced no matter what I did. Still doing this before discarding, before playing land in case I hit a land off the Inti, which I did not. This is based. Alright, and for my finishing move, not so fast, I will cast 3 copies of the card Hollow 1. It is your turn. Average turn 3, by the way. They're like, I'm good, you know? I'm good. I'm good. Based. See, that's how you hollow one, folks. Yeah, when the wands are hollow. Hollow Juan. How do you think they feel about the shock when they have an hand? Yeah, I know, right? Their hand is just like, well, I mean, they should have killed the Inti, right? If they had shock and didn't kill the Inti, I don't know what to tell you. This deck's really good when you draw a million hollow ones. I think I brought in like 1 or 2 volleys last time. This card's kind of sketchy against Spell Pierce. I've been trimming a Flail a lot. Yeah, I think I brought in exactly 1 volley last time, which was okay. It was fine. Last Shot goes so hard. I love this song. This hand's fine. It's less exciting as the first hand, obviously, but it's okay. This hand does stuff. Maybe I should be trimming on Flameblade against the deck that has a pile of shocks. That could be something I want to consider. Ooh, that's a really good draw. Adept into Inti is such a sick curve. It's such a good curve. Yeah, I will say I have been having so much fun playing LCI with playing Pioneer with the new set. It's been such a huge boon. All right, we'll just get their shock out of the way. Get a trade for these shocks at some point. Whoa. So I guess that means they have Brotherhood's End? I think I'm still discarding a land here. Just to get a counter. Okay. It's worse if they have a Brotherhood's End. Because I can't get this out of Brotherhood's End range now. But if I can dodge it next turn, then I can get this out of Fiery Impulse range. Just kind of why I want to do the thing now. I don't have, like, I don't need the 5th land. I don't understand why they let me put a counter on this if they were gonna... I guess they just wanted to get a card out of my hand. Sure. So they have Spell Pierce. Still casting Fable. Still casting the Fable. It will simply just not have Spell Pierce. The recipe for Pioneer. Play a new sweet deck and add 4 Fables. It's as easy as pie. Any deck is good with Fable. You already knew that. Yeah, let's just get rid of both lands here. Ooh. I like that. And now, even if they kill my Flameblade Adept, I can still get back the Phoenix. Who's the real Phoenix deck now? That's a word. You know, that's what the question we're asking ourselves. Which one of us is the real Phoenix deck? This deck is Rakdos mid with extra steps. Yeah, kinda. Alright, attack you for 9. It's a lot of damage. Alright, 9, yeah. They brick. They hit 3 lands and a Saheeli. Nice card. Nice card. What a good card. What a great Magic card. Sure, it's dead. Phoenix players, have any of you ever missed on Free the Fae? Anybody ever missed on that card? Yeah, it's like Augur of Bolus, but slightly better. It does mill the cards, to be fair. So, I mean, it's a little bit better than Augur, you know? So they have the Brotherhood's End now. No, they have Cruise. Sure. Inti would be nice to give the Soul's Trample. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Flame Sweep up the top. Hey, I could beat a Flame Sweep this game. I got a 5-6. That if they Flame Sweep, I then have a 7-7 or 7-8. I don't care about Flame Sweep this game. What would you add if you cut 2 Blade? Which Blade? Blade D's nuts. I don't know what Blade you're referring to. Alright, we get a little 5-0 prediction. Let's go. This hand is fine. It's not insane, but it's fine. Again, I wish I was in the play, yada yada yada, every single game, but... Spire Bluff Canal. They revealed Gigantha, this is probably Phoenix, but no Time Walks. It's not a bad draw. Yeah, Inti has been really good this league. Love that card. It's the card I did not want them to cast. This is really awkward. I don't know if I want to trigger this Shredder yet. I could YOLO Souls this turn and then jam Grinder and just make a giant Souls. So if I go Souls, discard a card. Say I discard the Flameblade. I have a 1/2 Souls. Then they just go Spell Impulse. And even if I go Neonate... Well, actually, that gets my Souls around Impulse, right? Neonate, discard Neonate would be a 3/4. So we still don't die to Fiery Impulse. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Discard Adept, I think. And then if they go, like, Cantrip, Impulse, we can go sack this, discard this, make it a 3/4. And then next turn, land, maybe just Fable, but maybe also Grinder. We'll see what they do. Cathartic plus Needed is turn 2 Hollow Boys. Yeah, I had Cathartic in the initial builds, but I did, like, a couple of Goldfish hands, and I really wanted that to be another permanent. But I don't know, Cathartic could still be pretty good. Torch the Tower. So this deals 2. They're not bargaining. Alright, well, I will make it a 3/4. Obviously, they get up another removal spell, but whatever. Wow, they don't even have a cantrip? Let's go. And yeah, I think we just grind. I just want to get this thing in a Blighting Axe range. Sucks if they have Pierce. God damn it. Alright, now we're not out of Axe range, which is awkward. Although I think if they had Axe, they maybe would have done that last turn. They did not hit Axe off of this. That's good. They hit Opt Cruise. So now they can Cruise. How do I get out of Axe range? I guess Takenuma if I draw land. But there's no other way I can get out of Axe range, right? Another grinder. Oh. I guess that kind of works, right? Is that really better than just playing a Fable? Yeah, I really don't want to get Lightning Axe, though. I really don't want to get Lightning Axed. Yeah, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go Inti, go to combat, attack, discard Phoenix. I really just don't want to get axed. And not cast that, unfortunately. Not that I really want to anyways, because I don't want to proc the Shredder. So we just pass here. And hope they don't have 2 removal spells. They would need Axe Plus. Has anyone tried the new blue Slightly Worse Smuggler's Copter? I tried it in my Blue, White, and Soul deck, and I didn't really ever have a good opportunity to crew it, but I do think there is a lot of potential with that card. What do you think of Souls of the Lost and Rakdos Reanimator in Modern? Sounds good. I like it. I think Souls is just cracked. Card's crazy good. Big fan of that card. Yeah, well, the problem, Big Monkey, is if they do have Axe plus removal spell, we kind of have nothing left. So, I think if they do kill the Souls this turn, I am probably going to lose this game. Even if they have to discard their entire hand, because we're just too far behind on board. I'm fine with that. Wow, they didn't kill the Souls? Could they not have killed the Souls that turn? 6, we go to 10. They could have killed the Souls, right? Oh, getting back the Phoenix was kind of bad, right? Because it's just 1 less damage on the Souls. Yeah, getting back that Phoenix might have been bad. It's still out of Lightning Axe range, so it's, like, kind of fine. It's close. Should try Shredder plus Inti somewhere. Shredder Inti sounds hot. No, we died exactly? Oh my god. That is really tough. Oh god. That is not a good feeling. Man. Damn it. Alright, Leyline's coming in. This matchup should be pretty good post-board, though, because their deck just, like, folds to a single Leyline. Especially if you have Volley to also kill Shredder. I've been cutting Tunnel Grinder, Flail. I'm going to try shaving an Adept, too, and an Ox and bring in 2 Volleys. Try something like that. Should have attacked and used Takenuma. Yeah, well, I would have had the shock for that, right? And if I shock, I'm dead on board, no? So if I, like, shock and miss... Because they can also just chump block with their 1-3, and then I'm still dead on board, right? Yeah, I guess we just trim more Adepts, maybe. One thing that I did notice that's been a little bit awkward is, like, hitting a hollow one. Well, not a hollow one, because sometimes you have enough stuff to discard to it, but hitting an Ox off of Inti is kind of awkward. I'm gonna bring in Hazoret. Would you rather have Hazoret than, like, the second Ox, maybe? Hazoret is really good. Let's try it. They can't kill it. They'll bring in 4 Cinderclasm. I mean, that's fine, right? My deck doesn't care about sweepers. We just play a Souls. Our deck is not bad against those damage-based sweepers. We have plenty of big creatures. Dying exactly is kind of tough. It's alright. We'll get the next 2. I'm not worried about it. We will get the next 2. So this hand does not have Leyline, but it kind of has everything else, so I'm going to keep this. Hand's too good to mulligan. Just 1-drop into Inti is so good. And if they kill Inti, we have a backup, so we don't even care that much. Okay, that's fine. I have another one, don't really care. I actually have 2 islands in play. Land or a 1-drop would be nice. You know. Not exactly what I'm looking for. Go. Could have maybe shocked there to hold up Rending Volley for Ledger Shredder. Why did I think this was game 3? We played against Phoenix before. Maybe you're thinking the last Phoenix match. Yeah, Inti has been very, very impressive this league. It's been really good. It's annoying. It's annoying, but beatable. Okay. I would like to go to combat. Attack. Do I just discard the volley at this point? They would have played Shredder if they had it. I'm going to put a counter on Inti, because I think I plan on sacrificing the Neonate this turn. Okay. I guess I don't have to sacrifice the Neonate, right? I can just play a Hollow 1 for 3. That's probably just fine. Play a Hollow 1, play tap land. Your turn. And they're at 12. And now if they have the Flame Sweep, we have a 3/3 Inti, which doesn't even die to Flame Sweep if they have that. See, we don't really care about their sweeper. Because the Gigantodecks can't play Brotherhood's End, and their sweeper is, I believe, Flame Sweep. I think that's stock for the Giganta Phoenix decks. Bloodthorn Flail's been good. It's just like, the one awkward part about Bloodthorn Flail is it's not great in multiples, as you can imagine, because it's like, you only really need one in play to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. So I have been considering going down to 3 copies instead of 2, or instead of 4, rather. They had a whole bunch of cantrips, which I don't really care about. They kind of need Axe to survive. If they just have a cantrip here, they're kind of dead. Impulse Inti. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I could, like, sacrifice Neonate to trigger Inti, but that's a hell of a top deck. Well, no, it's not really. I mean, I'll still cast it, maybe? Is it even worth casting? They go to 6. Their hand is 2 cantrips, 3 unknowns. Yeah, it's actually probably not even worth casting. Because I can also save it as a discard for the Adept next turn. Yeah, there's just no reason to cast this. Yeah, there's no reason to cast it. Sure, it's fine. They still need a lot of removal spells here. They need like 2 more to be in the game still. Sack a land, actually. Okay, that's not a removal spell. Yeah, blue pathway, sleight of hand. No Axe would be nice. They're kind of just dead if they don't have Axe, right? If they can't kill the Hollow One. Torch the tower. My tower has, in fact, been torched. Might as well just discard the souls. Try and find a Flamewake Phoenix. Did not find a Flamewake Phoenix. Bleed a 2. Alright, your turn. Prage. What does Phoenix bargain to want Torch the Tower? No, I don't think they have Third Path Iconoclast. I think they're mainly playing it because it's a removal spell that exiles. But I don't think they really have anything much to bargain with it for the most part. But exiling, I think, is pretty important in some matchups. It's like they don't really care about going face, so they'd much rather just have like a card that exiles a creature rather than something like a Play with Fire, you know. Consideration for Fiery Temper. The problem with like playing more spells is if you play too many spells, you make your souls a lot worse. So I only have 2 Thoughtseize, and that's the only non-permanent card for souls. And I think Thoughtseize is still probably the best piece of interaction, even though it doesn't work as well with the discard stuff. But yeah, Thoughtseize is still just really good. They have 1 Phoenix, assuming they can't attack, which they don't. Let's It's pretty good. Yeah, Soul's looking really bad against hers. You think there's any chance they kept in Spell Pierce? I think I'm going to play her on Spell Pierce. Just in case. I cannot afford to get this Tunnel Grinder Spell Pierced. It would have used it on Fable. Weren't they tapped out that turn? Bruh, I got a treasure token specifically for this reason. Why else did I... Why would they even cast the Pierce? Oh, hello there. Ah, you're at 2, huh? Alright, your turn. You're at 2, you don't say. That's a phenomenal life total. I guess we have to be a little bit careful of this hearse. This hearse is really big. Okay. And we're not dead this turn, and we can block the hearse next turn. And they currently have no cards in hand. How big? 11. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna cast Hazoret. Can't kill them this turn. There's no reason to attack, right? No, there's no reason to attack. If they were at 3, then, you know, whatever. I guess even if they're at 3, I could just use it twice. So I think they have to draw exactly Odawara to not be dead. And even then, we can still just chump block Hearse, replay Hazoret, block this next turn. Up deck Phoenix. Oh my god, Phoenix is exactly lethal again? Yeah. Phoenix is exactly lethal. But they had no cards in hand, so. These games are so close. They're closer than I want them to be. Alright, game 3. Do we want more... Do you want this third Rending Volley? Third Rending Volley, huh? Kind of want to trim on these Souls of the Lost if they're going to have hers. How is that not game 3 already? I know, these games are intense. What if I just did this? Try to be more of a mid-range deck? We could also go down to 2 Souls. Abrade to kill hers. I guess it also does kill Shredder, kind of. There's like a very small time window on a killing Shredder, though, right? I might rather just have another Adept. Let's try this. Alright, opening hand, Leyline plus the nuts, please. I'm not asking for a lot. Simply just Leyline plus the nuts. Ob just gets pressured too easily by Phoenixes. I don't know if I like Ob. What is the 2-drop? Inti is, I think, the one you're probably referring to. Inti, Seneschal of the Sun. So 4-lander, and it's bad. Where's mod check Leyline? Did I, like, forget to board them in? Let me just double check. Nope, did not forget to board them in. I mean, I have to keep this on 5. Guess we're doing this. Probably not going to win this game. We tried. We tried. They kept 7-2, of course. And they immediately consider an Arclight Phoenix into the graveyard. This is how you play Phoenix, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you play Phoenix. I could go Flail, discard Phoenix, equip Adept, get back Phoenix. I actually kind of don't hate that. I know they can just stonewall the Phoenix with the Ledger Shredder, but it's fine. We need to get very, very lucky to win this game. Probably have to draw Fable. Fable or Tunnel Grinder. Some sort of, like, 3-drop card advantage spell. Okay. I don't care too much about the Phoenix dying. I much would rather keep the Adept in play. They don't have a third land. That is really good for me. That is very, very good for me. Because now we get this to 4 toughness, which is fucking massive. Would you ever discard Springs to get into a 3rd toughness? I think it's more important to keep this at 4 toughness, right? Rather than have this at 3 toughness. Because this still dies to Impulse, but this doesn't. Yeah, I'm just going to pass on this. It's been pretty decent, Vallejo. I've liked it a lot. I've been pretty impressed with this version. Okay. You don't grow when you discard? No, but I'm saying this gives +2/+1. So this would, like, Flail on Inti makes it a 4/3. Yeah, we gotta dodge Axe here. Unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. That attack is insanely aggressive. I don't know if discarding the backup Flail was good. It's better if I draw exactly Hazoret. I think, honestly, the only way I win this game is discard again and spike the 1 of Hazoret, because I have a land here. So I'm just going to go for it. Hazoret. Yeah, you're a little late to the party, huh? I probably should have... I guess there was no good way for me to do it, huh? Yeah, I discarded both my cards, so I couldn't, like, discard the Leyline to Inti. Man, their draw was kind of the nuts. Yeah, it sucks. Now Hazoret's probably not good enough. Why not attack first? Because I wanted to try and hit Hazoret. If I hit Hazoret, I can attack with Hazoret that turn, and I think that's more important. Honestly, if I hit Hazoret, I probably win this game. It's only a 1-of, to be fair, but... Alright, GG's. Can't beat the nuts. That was a tough game. Tough game. I still did like this deck quite a bit, even though we lost the last round of Phoenix, which I think should be a relatively good matchup, especially with the Leylines, but just couldn't find the Leylines in any of the post-board games. But yeah, deck was pretty sweet. One thing that I definitely noticed is, Flail is not great in multiples, so moving forward, I'll probably cut the 4th copy of this card. Maybe, like I talked about, trimming a Thoughtseize, trimming both the Thoughtseizes, and just playing 3 copies of Stitcher's Supplier, because it works very well with Souls of the Lost. But other than that, yeah, deck was sweet. So if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, YouTube. Alright, no 5-0. Opponent rudely stole our 5-0 with the nuts.